You're in a testy mood.
I said to the girls today, we got talking in the car on the way home from the basketball game, and I said,
hold on. That was 6 seconds before a damn cough.
I know, he's a professional. So I was with the girls in the car, and I said, at what place does a system fail? And they didn't quite get what I was alluding to, and so I had to explain to them that systems typically fail at its weakest point. And so for me, I recognize that when I have things in my life that I feel that I'm unable to control, my frustration moves to something where it is the weak outlet. And so my frustration in this particular case was directed at something that was disproportionate.
Oh, you had
the frustration was disproportionate to the problem.
Okay.
And it was just the weak spot in the system.
Okay.
So
yeah. No, you brought the hammer about a little. It
was a little thing.
Yeah.
Totally blew it out of proportion, but it was the weak spot.
Yeah, that's okay.
And out it.
Sometimes you got to put the foot down.
Yeah. But I also recognize it.
Yeah, I mean that's the strong sign of a good dad.
You
realize when you unnecessarily put the foot down.
Yeah,
or you overfooted.
Total overfoot.
Yeah, you overfooted.
Yeah, way too much pressure. Although I did get gym shamed today by my by my daughter.
Gym shamed.
Gym shamed.
Oh, you're not going to the gym enough?
No, she was said that I was doing some bootleg one-legged squats.
Oh.
And I was getting only like 45 degree.
While you were at the gym?
While I was at the gym.
Wow.
So she came to the gym while I was at the gym and apparently
talking about your squat form.
Yeah.
People who do one-legged squats at the gym is exactly why I don't go to the gym.
Well, and I had to explain to her why I was doing them.
Why were you doing them?
It was a conversation between parent and child.
Yeah, see, I actually don't go to the gym because I got tired of kids yelling at their parents about their squats.
Oh, man.
You're not the only one, though. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
People come in, they dress their kid, they dress their parents down.
I got to tell you, for a long time in my life, and this is a true story for the sheep that are paying attention to this, my quads were my moneymaker.
Oh, I believe it.
I mean, I was
You're definitely not a chest guy.
I was not big upper body.
No. I mean, you weren't or you aren't?
Aren't.
Yeah.
I'm not top heavy. I was all base.
Yeah, and your thighs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got old man knees now, and I don't like it.
And those act as like your diet turbines too. Like if you have strong thighs, like
you got to get good wheels.
It gets your metabolism going too.
I don't need frail quads.
No, I skied a lot as a kid, and you get thighs from skiing, and that's why skiing's the best sport ever, because you don't really know you're working out when you're doing it.
Absolutely.
And then somehow you get these powerful thighs that you don't know how that came about.
15, 16-year-old me, I had perfect
we were so handsome.
The guy sitting in the Memorex chair, right? Certainly dating myself now, right?
Oh,
you remember the Memorex guy, right? With the sound? I had that form going down the mountain.
Wow.
Deep quad bend.
Not
anymore. Apparently, I only go to 45 with just the one leg.
See, I'm actually with your daughter, though. I'm not afraid to call my parents out for not doing a deep enough squat. So I'll go. My mom's 85, and I will still chase her down at the gym and be like, that squat, you kind of phoned it in.
I have to tell you, I love nothing more than peeking through the window and looking at old people aerobics.
Oh, that seems creepy.
Wow.
No, it just gives me such hope for the future. I think it's the most optimistic thing.
That you're going to be doing aerobics then?
I just love to think that you're still in the game at that age.
Yeah.
You're in, I'm going, I'm trying to make something happen.
Yeah. Or are you just, as you get closer to the end, you're just trying to buy yourself a little more time?
Whatever. I saw an interview today. I don't know. It was an interview today. I don't know when you're listening to this, but it was a 91-year-old guy who was one of the first COVID vaccine recipients in England. Guy was hilarious.
Oh.
Mentally sharp. Was complaining about the inability to find parking in London. So he's 91 and still driving. And I'm like, I want to be that guy.
So see, we've talked before about how the best survival skill set is charm. That guy is proof, right? He's absolute proof. He's one of the first vaccine getters. And why did he get it?
Called up today. They had an appointment.
Charming.
Yeah.
The nurse, he was like, hey,
yeah,
you're looking great today.
Well, and
is that a new hairdo?
Reserved British
Yes.
humor, which is brutal and cutting and
Yes.
amazing.
Yes.
I
So
feel like
the guys-
COVID would leave him alone. I don't know that he needs the vaccine.
Think it's scared of him?
He actually says in the interview, "I lived this long. What's the point of dying now?" Which was like, amazing.
The meaning of life.
Right? Like,
I've come too far to come this far.
Right. So anyway, so when I go to the gym, I peek in on the elderly people doing their little jazzercise.
That's your inspiration.
Yeah, they're out there. They're doing it.
Nice.
Right. And you just think, you get so caught up, right? I mean, it's a natural thing to feel like, and I do think it's true, whatever age you are, you sort of feel like, I'm young, I'm vibrant, I'm as strong as I once was, right? And you realize that you are giving up ground to time.
Yes.
The sheep will notice that during this segment, I've been relatively
I don't know.
quiet.
Were you in the room?
Yeah. And so what happened is, first you said that you were at the gym with your daughter doing one leg squats. So my jaw dropped to the floor. I was working on getting the jaw up. I was back. I was ready to go. Then we got into peeking in on old people aerobics. So
There's a lot going on at the gym, Jim. You gotta go. You gotta go to the gym.
I've been missing out.
Yeah. There's all kinds of stuff going on at the gym.
And I also don't understand, your daughter is complaining about the angle of the squats. Why is she not focused on the one leg squats?
I think she was focused on both. And she has her own little fitness Instagram, so I'm sure, as a content maker, she was upset.
She's an influencer.
I don't know who she's influencing at this point.
Okay, but
she's content making, which is
clearly
part of
not
the first step.
There you go.
She's not influencing. I don't
No,
follow her. I mean, if I was, I would know better about what the proper technique is. And admittedly, it's a time filler. And as one of my daughters said, you're doing fitness improv. And I thought, oh, that's a great line. And it is totally fitness improv. Because I'm just trying to kill time between sets of another thing. So I was just trying to make something up to try to get a little extra, be a little more efficient in my time at the gym.
If I went to the gym and started just doing one-legged squats at the wrong angle, I'd be kicked out within 7 minutes.
I don't know that you would. I mean, I don't go to a gym that has a no judgment zone because obviously one of the other members was judging my technique, even though I'm related to her. Oh, my goodness. Okay. So yesterday, true story. Yesterday, I'm at the gym. Different day than today. Someone that I know.
Oh, God, with the humble brag.
Okay. No. This, I hope it amuses you. Person comes up to me and says, how bad are things going for you in your life? And I'm riding the bike, kind of doing my thing. I says, what are you talking about? She says, you got a hole in the shirt that I had put on. There was a hole in the armpit.
Okay.
Did not know this.
Okay.
Well, now I'm embarrassed because I'm on the bike, right? I got one pit hanging out. So I got off the bike, went into the men's locker room, and ripped both of the sleeves off
Nice.
my shirt.
Nice. You went full Belichick.
I went full
You're
Belichick.
like, just rip off the arms.
Just pulled the two arms
Yeah.
off
Yeah, here's your fashion
to
conscious.
do cardio.
Yeah.
Right. So it was totally unnecessary. Like it was old guy Y kind of stuff.
That lady was so upset. No, this was yesterday. So
That
she
was
hadn't
yesterday.
even seen the one-legged squats.
She may see them. I don't know. She may.
See, I'm actually paying for your sweet gym because I keep my membership.
Do you keep the lights on at the gym?
I keep the lights on, but I've not been probably for about a year and a half.
It's a great show.
Maybe 2.
You gotta come.
Well, see, I'm worried that if people like me come, that the gym couldn't possibly economically be viable, right? I mean, the whole idea is that you get a bunch of people like me that continue to pay but don't attend, right? Then I would ruin it for guys like you.
There are still others.
Yeah,
There are plenty of others.
I feel like it's kind of my community service. Is that I
I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's essentially my donation to you having a sweet gym.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I am masked up when I'm in there.
Yeah.
Which is.
Your daughter hasn't sent me any kind of a thank you note. Nothing.
I'll tell her.
Yeah. Okay. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
she too is among the masked
Okay.
at the gym.
But is she's going pretty consistently?
When she's home,
Yeah.
she's pretty. She takes after me. She has a little gym compulsion.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't. Do you think they could name if I don't go for 3 years, they'd name it after me?
I don't know, but you could be like, "Are you friendly with the guy with the spindly bird legs and the no sleeves on his shirt?" Because we know that guy. We see him.
I think if I haven't gone for 4 years and I've paid every month for 4 years, then I should get like a name, like name a building or a room after me, right?
it.
Because then, then essentially I've made a significant donation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be great if all of the paying customers all showed up at the same time
Just
on
to say
one day.
thank you.
Well, no, they just all happened to show up, and the gym had to start doing a sort of Darwinism selection of who gets to come in and who has to go.
Oh yeah. You start.
I would be on board with that because I would say the healthier you are, the more you have to skip.
Yeah.
Like I would be like, you can skip a day or two.
Yeah, you'd be like, Adam, get to the front of the line.
We want these guys to be back on getting it.
Do you count yourself in the healthier category or the unhealthy category?
I think he's in the healthier category.
Well, I think he is also, but I'm thinking he's counting himself in the ones that would be let in if the healthier had to skip, and therefore I'm wondering how he categorizes us.
No, I think it would all be within your group.
Yeah, I think he's trying to get around saying, I'm healthy, you guys are not.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it depends on what you want to do. I mean, I think if you guys were coming in to do cardio, then yeah, I should wait. But if you guys were coming in to lift, I do cardio and I'm not lifting, then we can coexist alongside each other.
I don't know if I'm offended or not.
I don't even know how that works. Like, that's a lot of gym talk.
What is cardio?
Yeah, a lot of gym talk.
Cardio is the stuff that you do to try to get your heart rate up.
Yeah, no shit,
Yeah.
Jamie. Everybody knows what fucking cardio is.
You're listening to Gym Talk with Jamie.
Talk.
Bah.
Hey, do you got sweaty gym socks?
I have sweaty gym socks. Anyhow,
Put them in your sneaks.
yeah. But so it is good to hear you're at the gym. I'm glad to hear that your squats are getting on point, on fire, if you will. I'm going to start going to the gym. I think.
Come on.
You're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
No, I like to think about, like the other day, last night I said to my wife, I said, I laid down on the couch. We have like couch blankets, it's winter now. So we have the like little blankets. I like having a blanket on me at the couch. And I kind of just put my feet up and I watched TV and I said, tomorrow I'm going to do better. And my wife said, at what? And I just said, everything. Like everything, I need to do better at
Just all of
everything. Like I need to exercise more, better diet, produce more at my work. Like, be a better father. I'm going to be better tomorrow, but not tonight. Tonight I'm phoning it in.
Every day, 1% better.
1% better. That's all I got to do. Yeah, you've been
At some point, you would seem like you would exceed. You'd max out.
Well, I mean, it's 100 days, right? I mean, it's always annoying when the coach says, "Give me 105%." Right? You can't if you're just once you're at 100%.
You're at 100%.
Yeah. So really 3 months in, you're pretty much there.
You should be perfected.
Yeah, you're pretty much perfected. Yeah.
You're not going to the gym.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Well, let's see what happens.
Okay.
Definitely not going to the gym.
Not going to go to the gym?
No, never.
Let's go to the gym. We should all go. Actually, I don't like really seeing anybody at the gym.
Oh, good.
I'm not.
Good.
I mean, you see the same people because everybody's creature of habit.
They all go at the same time?
Everybody goes at the same time. So you kind of
Right.
have your group.
Your class.
Right, your class.
Okay. Is it like class where you go and you find your seat and you have your machine?
Oh, I get very troubled when I'm like, dude, I come at this time.
And
What are you doing on my machine?
right. So if
Who's this guy?
right, or what if it's one of your normal classmates? Just take.
But that's fine. That's cool. Wait,
If
I
he
know.
takes your machine.
I know how long you're going to be.
Okay.
Right? I know what the deal is.
Okay.
So here's your challenge.
But you're the new guy. You're showing up. You're sitting in my seat.
Oh, see, another reason why I shouldn't come. to
Yeah,
the
I was
gym.
gonna say what
What do you-
you're talking me.
I'm afraid I'd be the new guy, and and people would give me they'd be like, "Oh God, this guy just took my machine. Look at him sweat like a."
You play pickup basketball with somebody. Do you want to pick up a guy and be like, pass me the ball before you go shooting the whole time?
No.
You want somebody to come and take all the shots? New guy at the gym?
No. I want to be the shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah. The new kid shouldn't shoot,
New kid shouldn't shoot. Pass a little. Show us what you got.
but they do.
But they do, and then they shouldn't come back.
Yeah.
What's the rule about grunting?
At the gym?
Yeah. No, in general.
Oh. First of all,
I think tennis grunting is fine.
I do need to share that I was introduced on stage for the first time as His Excellency.
Ah, nice. A
It
callback.
was
Oh, good.
awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I had to explain it because I think the audience took it weird.
Okay.
But I was introduced as His Excellency.
I think that's absolutely on point.
Did you say when you were done, now you understand why I'm called His Excellency,
I
and
didn't.
drop the mic?
I didn't.
Boom.
It wasn't that. I didn't
Out.
do that. I did some new stuff.
But did it say, like-
But it wasn't
His Excellency, or was it
His
His
Excellency.
Excellency,
His Excellency.
Jamie
Jamie
Bandel? That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is great. I think Excellency needs to make a big, big comeback.
And I explained it.
Yes, good.
And then
How about the signature of humble servant? Are we
I wasn't able to work. I wasn't able.
Are we going
to
to hold
work
on that still? We're going to stay with sincerely your best wishes.
Your humble servant
on emails.
I might do that as part of the signature.
Yeah, just says your humble servant. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I might try it to see if anybody notices.
I've actually stepped up a little bit further and said I have the honor of being your humble servant.
I would do it.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I'm in.
Yeah, let's do it.
I actually am now saying your humble servant infinity +1.
Oh.
It's always with you. And you're always going to try and one up me.
Did infinity exist in those Hamiltonian times?
That's a good question. Did it exist?
The concept of infinity?
Well, just because they didn't know the concept yet, did infinity actually exist?
Okay, hold on a second. If the concept didn't exist,
right?
Then did it exist?
Yeah, that's the great question. Mm-hmm. Like at that point, the universe was still expanding and it was infinite, but they didn't know that. So did infinity exist?
So, Sheep, I'm going to be drawing a chart from one-legged squats to does infinity exist, and you'll have that in our special content for our Patreon.
As you can
listeners.
tell,
I'm going to tell you something where infinity doesn't exist. It doesn't exist in the full range of motion of my left knee.
Ooh, that's about
It
right.
is definitely infinity minus a few degrees.
That's right. Okay, that's good. I like. I think we're trying to bring back His Excellency, or
Brought it back. It's
Yeah.
back. Technically,
or Your
it's
Excellency.
now. His Excellency.
Yeah, but I think when I'm addressing emails, I'd say Your Excellency.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then
Your
I would
Excellency.
end it with, I have the honor of being your humble servant, Adam Haig.
But can you be introduced as
A. Haig.
A. Haig.
A. Haig.
Going
That's the way you're
full
supposed to do
Hamilton.
it.
Yeah. Nice.
now? Are you going to get the wax seal?
So I had a headmaster at my really shitty, right?
Quickly talk about going to the gym.
Knew it.
I had an administrator at my school who went by A. Thomas Jackson. Thomas was his middle name, and I always thought that was interesting because it was also like you are one of many. You are A. Thomas Jackson, right? And so my middle initial my middle name is Sean, right? And I could be A. Sean Haig. Right. But I guess my issue there becomes I want to be like the Ohio State guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to be the Sean Haig, not a Sean Haig.
I get it.
Yeah.
I do think, though, it's a very Southern thing.
Oh, to do the
I
A
think
dot
that there's
thing?
a strong correlation between knowing what a meet and three is and first initial middle name.
Okay. But you think I can do the A. Haig and just go straight to the last name?
I think you can. I'm just saying I was not familiar with the phenomenon of first initial go by my middle name. Everybody that I knew went by their first name.
Interesting. Yeah, me too. Except for this guy.
What about a
Okay.
stage name?
My stage name?
Yeah, what's your stage name?
Oh, Brutus Ledgemont.
That was quick.
Yeah, it is my stage name.
And it is a good one at that.
Is it a Brutus Ledgemont?
No, just Brutus Ledgemont.
Okay.
Yeah. But sometimes people say, et tu, Brute?
Ledgemont.
Ledgemont. Yeah.
Eh,
Anyhow, Sheep, so we've got a good show for you today.
it's always a great show.
Yeah, we got a great guest. We're going to get to the guests and stick with us. We're going to go to a quick break, but stick with us. The show's going to be great.
And if you have
Did I say great?
suggestions about how to rebuild my moneymaker, I'm happy to take them. I don't know if people have gym tips about leg exercise that they can be doing to rebuild the spindles.
Yeah, bring them back.
I need them back.
So we'll be back after Bendel does some squats.
Yeah, my knees are starting to look like elbows.
Yeah, but honestly,
And that's not really
you need
good.
to get the full angle.
Whatever it takes, I can't go into this next phase of my life.
So we're going to work on your squats. We'll be right back.
Oh Lord, we keep trying to have outros and then we get back to we just can't have a spot that just stops. Oh wait, did I cut you off?
This is, I think, the very first one where you didn't interrupt the beginning. And I think it's because we snuck into the start.
Yeah, I don't think we actually had a beginning.
We did not have a beginning. You know what that is? Like infinity. There is no beginning. There is no end. Sheep, are your kids involved in youth sports? If they are, like mine, they've probably been injured on the field, and injured in the way that they've not actually been injured. But the only way they're going to get better is to go to fake x-rays in a box.
Oh, yeah. So this is actually pretty funny. My son used to play soccer, and he watched a lot of World Cup stuff, and then he went out on soccer. Kid, comes by him within a 3 feet radius, and he goes down hard, holding his ankles, holding his shin. They bring out the little stretcher. They take the kid off the field. He's got nothing wrong with him, but he's terribly embarrassed about what's just happened. And I don't want to have my son embarrassed in front of all his friends. So what did I do? I went to fakexrays.com.
Fakexrays.com.
Now, your son could have had a fake x-ray in his pocket right there to prove that he was injured.
You can't actually have the x-ray pre to the injury. Yeah, it ruins the whole story flow. It's interesting. But honestly, that's why we have advisors standing by at fakexray.com to make sure your stories line up. And that if you say you got a break 2 years ago or even yesterday, we can make sure your x-rays are exactly perfect.
Adam, you know what? We have a special message from our sponsor right now. They just wrote to us and they said, could you please get our website correct?
Oh, that's great. Fakexrays.com. We're here for you. All our listeners, you can get 2 x-rays when you buy 5 if you use the special promotion code that's BHHcast.
Actually, and that promotion code gets you 1 adult-sized hand x-ray and 1 child-sized hand x-ray.
Not a real product.
Hey, sheep, you get in there and you buy yourself one of them fake x-rays so your kid don't get none friends losing by.
All right, welcome back to the BHHcast. Jamie Bendel, Jamie Hernan, Adam Haig. Welcome back, sheep. We have a special guest who is joining us now. And as you know, we always do our special guests kind of the same way. We don't do a lot of prep with them about what the questions we're going to ask. If you were the host who invited the guest to the show, you don't do a lot of background prep of the background of the guest. So it gets to be a little bit of an organic conversation. Our special guest this evening is Mr. Bob Trammell. Bob, welcome to the BHHcast.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Well, it is a pleasure to have you. And the very first question that we ask of our guests is a fairly simple and straightforward one. And it is this: what is on your business card?
What is on my business card? So I have 2 business cards. My law firm card, Robert T. Trammell Jr., the Trammell Firm, LLC, attorney at law. And then my second card is my card for the House of Representatives, and it says Bob Trammell, House Minority Leader.
So you were the minority leader in the state of Georgia.
That's right. I held that title from elected in the summer of 2017 through the end of this year. Have held the seat in District 132 as a state representative since being elected in November of 2014. Was on the ballot this year and was quite a year to be on the ballot, but did not win re-election this year. So I'll be going back to the unshackled Bob Trammell, private citizen, as of January 2021.
Okay, so hold on a second. So I'm fascinated by this. At some point, you're a private citizen. Were you politically oriented in the early part of your life?
I think as a kid, I was always interested in government and in current events. When I was in high school and college, sort of gravitated toward law, still interested in politics as an observer. Never really knew necessarily that I would run for public office, but was always interested in politics. During those years.
Did you do city council? Were you on a planning commission? Were the HOA president?
Does a group of Illuminati just come to you in the back room one day and say, "We've decided you will be the candidate"?
Candidate emergence is a little different. There's no one path for it. So, my path was a little bit roundabout. I actually left a law firm job to come home, and part of that was to run for office nearly 20 years ago, to run for a legislative seat. that was up in 2004. So in 2003, I guess I sort of left my big firm job, came home, started a small law practice, and started running for state senate. And that was how I got involved in elected politics.
So was that somebody was going to retire? Was it somebody where you didn't like how they were representing the community that you were from? Like, what was that?
Yeah, this is in 2002, which was sort of an earthquake election, if you want to call it that. There was an upset at in the gubernatorial election. Governor Roy Barnes, the incumbent, sort of lost in an upset to Sonny Perdue, the Republican candidate, and that was the first time we'd had a Republican governor in the post-Reconstruction era in Georgia, and it ushered in was really the election that sort of ushered in the beginning of Republican dominance in Georgia politics for 2 decades. What happened at the legislative level at that was there were 4 state senators the week after the election in the state Senate that switched from Democratic to Republican, and that changed control in the legislature for the Senate. And so the seat that I moved home to, my home district was one of those seats, basically. And so it was an opportunity to get involved and to run, I, as a Democrat, to run and try to win that seat back. The craziness is that there was redistricting litigation. And so the district that I moved home to run in was not the district that I wound up running in when I was on the ballot.
Let me guess. There were fewer people who would have the same party identification as you might have after that redistricting process was over.
In fact, there were so fewer people that the district that I wound up in had not one Republican incumbent but 2 Republican incumbents in it. So
they double bunked them. They double bunked them. That's not good.
That feels like stacking the odds.
Yeah. Hey, so I don't think that people appreciate. I actually had someone say to me recently. It was a younger person, and they asked the question, like,
Hold on, were you at the gym when they asked you this?
First of all, that's a totally different conversation. We have a guest.
It's always the same thing.
No, it isn't. I
Jamie, we have
we have a lot of conversations.
Behave yourself.
I try to preserve the anonymity of some of the people that I talk to sometimes.
I'm just trying to confirm whether you were at the gym
It doesn't
or not.
matter where the conversation was. Could have been at the gym. I sometimes talk politics at the gym. I know that seems weird, but it happens.
Don't ignore the guest.
Yeah. So the guy asked me for a spot, and he says, let me ask you, did you ever think that you would see Georgia go back to the Democrats? And I said, I actually lived in Georgia when there were Democrats in charge. But what I was getting at, and the question I was going to ask is, I think that people underestimate the way the events of 9/11 really influenced local politics in the state of Georgia. That a lot of America changed in many places in that 2002 election, following directly on the heels of what happened in 9/11.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's a really astute observation, and I don't know that I would really have focused on it as much in relation to the state legislative race, but it's certainly valid, because really the only question that people wanted to know in the 2004 election was who you were voting for president, and that was sort of a direct offshoot of the 9/11 support for President Bush. Of course, Kerry was a Democratic nominee, and it was a very, very difficult election for Democrats in Georgia and throughout the South.
Well, and I think that, if I'm not mistaken, that also was the same election with Max Cleland, who was the senator.
He lost his seat,
and he wound up
so he was
in
that 2002. That's right. He lost. He lost in that election.
Right.
Barnes and Cleland both lost.
So it was so there was a window in which you could have sort of significant partisan change that then kind of plays itself out in a significant way over the subsequent 20 years.
Yeah,
Bendel, stop showing off for our guest.
Yeah, you're very.
Listen. I could
which,
go
which was the
way
show
deep.
off? The gym part, or where you brought up the
Max
9/11
Cleland.
part?
No. The 9/11. That was the beginning. That started
then
the show
Max
off,
Cleland,
right?
yeah.
And then Max Cleland was definitely the.
And I promise you, he's not Googling anything. He doesn't even have a screen in front of him. So yeah.
All right, but so now you run once. You have this challenging election in 2004. It doesn't go your way. You stay in the community. You reassess. You say, okay, what are the ways in which I can serve? And you have
so you never know if politics is kind of like having if you're interested in running for office, it's kind of like having a surfboard. You have to have it ready, but you're never sure if the wave is going to come your way. But when it does, you got to be ready to ride it. And so I wasn't really sure that elected politics would actually ever come back around for me, frankly. Was practicing law. Married, starting a family, and then, in 2014, one day I'm at the law office and my representative, a friend who'd served our community for 22 years, called and said he was thinking about retiring and he needed to come talk to me. And, he said it was my time. And so just like that, there you are with the opportunity knocking at your door. So you never know. Had obviously stayed involved in politics and helped some campaigns, helped some people run. My dad was a local elected official in our small town of about 800 people, and helped him some over the years. But you never know if it comes back your way. And in 2014, the chance opened up, and found myself running for office again.
But Bob, you're talking about opportunity, but you really are. This is your community, right? You came home, you're serving your community. So I just want to point out that your desire to represent the people of this area. This is your home, and you've got roots that go way back.
Yeah, I mean it's building we built a law practice and when you're part of a town of a small town in a very close knit community, we obviously had deep roots here, but I made the decision when I came home, and then after the election to stay, continue to live and build a practice here, raise my family here, and the thing about a small law practice is, you're literally doing real people law, representing real people, helping them with their problems. And the chance to, serve in the legislature, really was an extension of what we were doing. It's just an opportunity to help more people, than you can, in a law practice, you're sort of helping one person at a time. And, in the legislature, you have an opportunity to help a lot of people with what you do.
All right, so I always walk a fine line here because I do feel that there are times in which people overestimate the qualifications of people who serve in elective office, right? And I mean that in the sense that there are times where people think like, somebody knows better than me or somebody's willing to work harder than me. And the reality is it's just a willing to raise your hand and say, I'm willing to live outside myself and serve the people of my community. So I want to come back to how you ultimately become the minority leader, because candidly, in a state like Georgia, where it is overwhelmingly conservative, the margins seemingly are pretty good in the majority, that it's a bit like being the bridesmaid and never the bride when it comes to things that your party may want to advance legislatively. So I don't want to get too deep in the weeds in that, because I do want to get to what our next question is, but I just want you to be thinking about that generally. Our second question is,
it's like being the bridesmaid, but with the bridezilla.
How's that?
I had left that just perfectly fine.
I just wanted to.
It doesn't matter. You're implying that it's a bad bride. It's a crazy bride. We're not suggesting that. We're just saying that you are not the bride. It's not your show. You're there in support of the show.
Yeah, the bride might be crazy at times, though. So,
yeah.
Occasionally, but she's your friend. She's your buddy. You didn't think that she was going to act like this when she became the bride, but then all of a sudden she's the bride.
This particular bride is not our buddy.
But it's somebody who you knew. You grew up around them. You had some experience, and then all of a sudden they get the ring, and it's like,
Yeah.
Bob, sometimes Bendel derails our show.
I'm the derailer.
Yeah,
I'm never the derailer.
You brought the
I'm
bridezilla.
trying to figure out if I'm the bridesmaid, the bride, or the bridezilla.
bridezilla,
No. You're the minority leader in a state where you get 6 votes, and 3 of them aren't certainly accountable to you.
He just made an incredible comparison. I just wanted to somehow break that apart.
Undermine it.
Right.
So that gives us a good.
I feel like you, Bob. I feel like I'm the minority leader here. I'm trying to advance something for the benefit of the episode.
And yet these guys are holding you back.
He's killing me.
Yeah.
He's killing me over here. Okay, so here's what I do ask question number 2, transition to question number 2. You are from the South. You acknowledge
Georgia.
small town, 800 people.
I have high hopes that he's going to know what you're talking about.
All right. We discuss on this show the concept of a meat and 3 restaurant.
Yep.
All right. Yup. Exactly.
So you know what a meat and 3 is.
Know what a
Of
meat and 3
course.
is. Okay.
Okay, there you go. Because Jamie is under the impression that everyone knows what that is, and yet almost 80% of our guests at this point have had no idea what he's talking about.
Right. Which is terribly disappointing.
But his record
it makes
on-
sense that a
That's
Georgia,
terrible. It means they've missed out on a lot of good,
a lot of good eats.
a lot of good eating.
His record on
Good
getting people.
groceries.
That's
Yeah,
right.
His record on getting people to recognize that is similar to the Strike Force legal team's record.
I've actually
good.
batted significantly better than they have.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's-
If they went to the Supreme Court and said, we'd like to advance the concept of meat and 3 as how to resolve this election, they would have had a better hearing.
The good news is Bob
All right,
knows
we have our
exactly
guest.
what a meat and 3
Our
is.
guest knows what a meat and 3 is. All right, so here's as it relates to a meat and 3. What we ask of our guests is, what is the meat in your life? What is the organizing principle, the unifying theory around which you orient your decision-making process in your life?
The meat. I thought I was going to get to say meatloaf, but I think for me, the organizing principle is family. It was, growing up, we had a very close family, and that was always sort of the focus of the decisions that were made when I was a kid. When my parents were making decisions for the benefit of our welfare, education for me and my sister, and they were thinking about our future. And so, for me as a parent, I think that's very, very much the same thing. That the decisions that I make, both personally and professionally, involve what's best for my kids and their future. And when I was a legislator, every legislative issue I approached the same way. I thought about my kids. Was the filter and lens that I looked at for those decisions about what would be best for them, about what kind of Georgia I wanted for them to grow up in and live in as young adults and as adults, starting their own families and lives, and so that's definitely the meat in my meat and 3.
All right, so now then let's talk about the 3. What would be the 3 attributes that you would like people to most closely identify with you?
3 attributes most closely identify. Well, one, I think I hope that people feel like that that I am someone that they can confide in. I take that very, and it don't just mean obviously in a lawyerly sense, it's attorney-client, but as a friend, that I'm someone that they can come to if they've got a problem, and just not necessarily looking for advice, but just someone who will hear them out. I think that's certainly something that I hope people view as an attribute.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, I think that having sort of sound judgment, somewhat related to that. That you think that I not going to get the cart in the ditch when it comes to trying to make decisions. And then third, I hope that they think that I'm not someone who that I have perspective, and specifically that I understand what's important in life, and also not taking yourself too seriously. You take the issues seriously, but you understand that you're a person, and not afraid to laugh at yourself, and keep it in perspective.
All right.
So I would say those three.
I'm constantly amazed because we don't prep our guests. I'm constantly amazed at how great their answers are. And if I got asked those questions and had to answer on the spot, I would walk away with a plate full of chicken liver and beets, because I would not come up with any kind of answer like that.
Yeah. All right.
So I think that your meat is especially interesting as a public servant, that your family is that middle and guiding force. And it's interesting because I think when you first get the impression, I think, oh, well, that takes you away from your family, right? You're actually not protecting your family; you're protecting other people's families as a public servant. But I appreciate what you were saying about using your family as kind of that barometer, or the North Star, if you will, in your legislative decisions. And what would you want for your people? It's probably what most people want for their people.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's certainly what you point out is one of the main drawbacks of the job, is that there certainly is one of the opportunity costs is that there are occasions and where you are forced to spend less time with family than you might otherwise have. One thing about the legislative position in Georgia in particular, though, is we're part-time, we're citizen legislature, so it's not a full-time responsibility. And then secondly, I had the luxury of, even though it's a hike from where I live to the Capitol downtown, it's still a commutable distance.
Mm-hmm.
And so an hour there and an hour back, on average, it's about a little under, right at 50 miles. So, but I have colleagues from other parts of the state, and I think about their sacrifice, and they are not at that commutable distance, and they're basically having to live away from family for part of the year. And that's an amazing sacrifice for public service.
There is no, I don't think down under the Gold Dome there's the longer commute caucus that says we get a vote and a half. Because we live outside commutable distance.
I feel like there's some who may have run for office solely because they
needed a place to live downtown. Yeah.
There are some people.
All right, so last question. This is the easiest one here, and it's kind of our favorite one to ask. We give an open floor for a unapologetic, unashamed dad brag, where you can pick anything about which you are proud about one or more than one of your children, and just brag on them for a second.
Well, my kids are the most amazing, most important thing that I will ever do in life, and so my kids are almost 8. She turns 8 on the 19th of this month. Mary, Virginia 6, and my son Bob 2, and I'm just so proud of the way their own little people, but the way that, particularly this year, since it is an election year, they really grappled with what it meant to have an election, what it meant for their dad to be in an election, the stake in the presidential election that they had. And I'll tell you, my son Bob is a little young for it, but particularly my 8 and 6 year old, they really to watch them, come home and to listen to their conversations and to listen to things that they could have done. My 6-year-old and 8-year-old were having a conversation after the election, and they were talking about things they could have done to help Dad get a few more votes so he could have won. And that's I'll tell you, that grabs you.
Oh, I bet it does.
Yeah, that grabs you.
All right, I'm pretty sure a lawsuit is going to be filed about that very thing that you just admitted.
That was not one of them, but they may put that in the mix,
Yeah. All right. So real quick thing before I let you go, and it's twofold. One is you actually took a job that you were probably never figuring you were going to have to do, given the recent historical past of the state of Georgia. You're actually an elector in the Electoral College.
Right.
Is that correct?
That's right. We'll be casting an electoral vote for Joe Biden on Monday, December 14th.
All right. So that's kind of a definite, historical, awesome, random thing, regardless of which party you got
awesome
picked for.
Perk, anyway you
right?
look at it.
It's just an interesting thing that you actually get to be one of the people who gets to cast a vote in the Electoral College. So that's got to be interesting. And then
do you get a business card?
You could. I mean,
I think I might make a business card.
I think you should.
Yeah. All right.
Give
So
them out all over the place.
now here's the other one.
I put it on my Twitter handle. So I mean, that's kind of a business card. So.
All right. And before we let you go, and this is one that I think is important, and I hope that I'm not stepping over any bound to say this. Soon you will switch roles from being representative to represented. Do you have faith and confidence that the person who defeated you will make their best effort to try to serve your community in the way that you served your community?
It's a great question. And the short answer is, I do have confidence in that the representative will work to the best of his ability and do that. They're obviously won't have the same political orientation and philosophy, but I believe in the institution,
right?
And that House goes on, the democratic process goes on, and so if I have need, I certainly won't hesitate to call.
Yeah. Would you encourage other people in their own communities that if they feel as though they have a role to play, be it on a recreation commission or a zoning commission or at a more higher level, that you would encourage people to give some consideration to getting engaged in their community and serving in that way?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been in the sort of living room as the recruiter, having the conversations about running for office, and the thing I find is when I was having those conversations in the process of talking to potential candidates about running for office, running for the state house. I did it more of a soft sell, and what I found is that people have a genuine desire to serve their community, and really my role there in talking to them was to sort of help answer some of the questions and the reservations that people would have. I think some of the things you just don't know, but the truth is that there's no magic to becoming a representative, and there's no single background, and there's no single path to doing that or to serving your community in any capacity. It really is just a desire to get involved in the initiative to follow through.
Excellent. All right. Well, we appreciate the time you took with us to join our podcast this evening, and we appreciate your service to the state of Georgia, and perhaps you'll have an opportunity in the future to get to do that again. And if
Absolutely. I appreciate you being on the show. I found, we have a lot of fun on the podcast, but I found your answers to be incredibly inspiring. And, for people who are listening and thinking about public service, I think you have proven yourself to be a great example of that. And I appreciate your service, but I also think I appreciate that you're what's right with politicians. So sorry things didn't work out for this election, but by all means, I admire the effort and I admire what you've done for your community. So thank you for your service.
Well, like that great political philosopher Bob Dylan said, we'll meet another day, another time. So
I love that.
All right, thanks, Bob. We really appreciate it.
All right.
Great meeting you, Bob.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
You bet.
Hey, Jamies, I got to tell you guys something.
Is it a secret?
I love how you made us plural.
Is it a secret?
No, it's a pretty big deal, though. I just found this water, this drinkable water. It's called Enormous Volcano in Hawaii. Yeah, you've seen the Fiji bottles where they talk about how they kind of go through the sandstone and artesianal well and stuff like that. They got some Icelandic one where they talk about the fact that, it's been through a glacier. Well, I got to tell you, I've never tasted water like what came out of the largest big-ass volcano in Hawaii.
Tell me about it.
It's incredible. So what happens is the waters, when they hit Hawaii, they come all the way across the Pacific. They hit those volcanoes. The volcanoes heat up the water, which makes a steam, and then is recycled into the lava.
It would be nice if there was a way for me to get that water here.
Well, now your dreams have just come true. That's what I wanted to tell you guys about. Big Ass Volcano Water is now available to our listeners through an exclusive code. If they go to Big Ass Volcano in Hawaii water.com and they type in BHHcast, they're going to get 2 bottles of water for every 25 they buy. I'm dropping knowledge, and that's from Hawaii, delivered to your house. You don't get on an airplane, you don't set sail, none of that.
By the time it gets to you, it's room temperature.
Totally room temperature.
Now, what about the currency exchange? Can I buy it in US dollars?
You can buy it in US dollars. They take dollars, they take credit cards, they take checks, they take Bitcoin now.
What language do they speak in Hawaii?
I'm not
Hawaiianese.
sure. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but I know their water, incredible. Don't forget to get to our sponsor, BigHawaiiWater.com. You better get yourself over to them waters and get some of that Hawaiian stuff up in you.
Not a real product and the wrong website.
So, first question we ask all our guests, which we've sort of hinted around in our conversation, is what does it say on your business card?
Stand-up comic is what it says, because I hate the word comedian, and I don't know why. I don't like the word. I never really liked the word comedian. I think comedian. I don't think Tim Wilson was a comedian, and I think comedian is more like Carrot Top. It's just me, and I know that's completely off base and completely not.
But you're drawing a distinction between a comic and a comedian.
No, I think just in what they do, just in how they do their show. That's all I'm saying. How they, when I do my show, I don't move from behind the mic stand.
Right.
I just stand there and talk. So I don't think I'm really a comedian as far as I can't do what Belushi does or did.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
A little more clowny.
Yeah, just way more
Energy.
I can relate it. All I can relate it to is basketball camp, where you have your triple threat stance. You can shoot, dribble, or pass. And a lot of people can only shoot. A lot of people can only dribble. A lot of people, Sammy Davis Jr. could do all 3. He'd sing, dance, and act, and all that shit. I don't think I can do what Belushi. To me, they're comedians. They can do the acting.
I got you.
Yeah.
Could you be a comics comedian? Or what would be the difference with a comedian's comic?
I've never gotten a lot of love from the industry. I've never gotten a lot of love. No, I couldn't. I could never. I don't think I'm a comic. Is that what you're asking?
Okay.
I'm saying
I don't. So, Mike, I would just. So, first of all, I think that the way you're described by other comedians can be different than the way your perception is. So, I would say that
Absolutely.
Other people in the business would respect how you perform.
Oh yeah.
Different than the way you would say it in terms of oh, this is a guy I want to go watch in the back of the room, right?
Right. It's not, but I also think too, you have to be a comedian to win something like Boston or any of those festivals because you have to be a really good, seriously a comic as far as like your 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Like,
I see what you're saying.
To make it stand out in 5 minutes. I'm not that. My show's never been like that.
All right, so business card says stand-up comedian. All right,
You're a stand-up comic.
Stand-up
I'm sorry,
comic.
stand-up
You just went through this.
All right, Jesus,
How dare you? Where you been, bro?
Yeah.
My whole phobia.
I'm sorry,
I
I just
also have a condition that when I think about my own mortality, I pass out. I've done it 3 times in the past 4 years.
What?
seriously.
Yeah. It's kind of cool. I went to I did a show at the Five Guys, and I got off a ship in Hawaii. I flew back from Hawaii, and I had been, on the time difference for like 6 hours. So I'd been out there for 2 weeks, and I flew directly home. And I went and had dinner with my mom and had some beers. And the next day, Amber and I went to Five Guys, and we were talking about me getting like my blood work done and my liver enzymes were high or something. I started getting freaked out in my mind, and I passed out at Five Guys.
Now, how great was the water in Hawaii?
One of our
Dude,
sponsors.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's
And
great
the
water.
Hawaii's fantastic. You ever been there?
It's unbelievable. The waters out here. We get the water shipped to us, but yeah.
Yeah, you guys should go there and see the water. Awesome. Dog the Bounty Hunter lives there, man. So yeah, and then I was in the doctor's office about 3 or 4 months ago, and I had like a bug bite or something in my arm, and they started talking more about like, and then I thought I had I went for a prostate. They thought I had a prostate infection, and then they didn't know what it was because all my stuff was fine. So I started thinking about my own mortality and I passed out in the doctor's office.
Mike, did you just confuse a prostate exam with a bug bite?
No. I had a bug bite on my arm.
Those are different medical visits.
When I passed out.
Those are different medical
I've been there
visits.
before for the bug bite. This was the time.
Yeah.
If you go to the doctor for a bug bite and he tells you to lean over the table, you need to change doctors.
Prostate infection, not a
Yeah.
I got a bug bite.
Hang on, honey. Hang on a minute.
Drop your pants, Mr. Babar.
The reason it burns when I pee is because I got this mosquito bite on my arm.
See, that's why it wasn't a prostate infection. Already ran stuff, so they
That's pretty funny, though.
they don't know what it is. So yeah, now I passed out.
All right, so you're familiar with, I know I need not explain the concept to you. You're familiar with the Meat and 3 restaurant, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay, of course. So here's the question that we ask of all of our guests, and it is this. In your life, what is the meat? What is the organizing principle or philosophy, not family, but what is the theory around which you organize the rest of your life?
Oh, wow. This went from so can you give me your example of what you mean?
So the meat. So like if you were to basically say like, my faith, that's everything is organized around my faith, and everything else flows from that. Or it's trust. I build my life around, my belief in other people. Or
Keep narrowing all his options. Now you can't use faith, trust, or family.
Jamie, it's being handsome.
I love building my trust around my family and holidays. I think my friends. I think my large circle of friends. I've always considered myself somebody who can kind of get along with anybody in a way. So I've kind of always taken pride in just being, able to adapt too. I mean, shit. In the time that we've been doing stand-up, Jamie, the whole fucking world has changed.
Yeah. All right, so let's say, if you were to say adaptability is the meat, then the follow up to that, the other portion of the analogy is what are the 3? What are the 3 attributes that you would like other people to most closely associate with you when they talk about Mike Speenberg? What are the attributes that they want you to say?
It's back to my friendship, my loyalty to my friends. God, man, my honesty. I don't lie in my life. So, if the truth hurts, I apologize for that. I've lost friends over that. 3. I got one more.
One more.
Wow. I've always followed my intuition through my gut, and then some. Actually, a lot of times I haven't followed it, and then in the end, it was right.
Okay.
So I would encourage people to take that away from what I'm talking about.
Trust their gut.
Yeah, that's a big one. Follow your gut, because I've lived a lot of time where I wasn't listening to my gut.
All right, now our third question.
Did I win?
You did win. You did win. You get the BHHcast T-shirt. So the third question. Now you don't have any children.
No.
Okay, but you are.
I have two children who live here. They're not mine. One of them's 12 and the other one's 21. Dude.
Okay, so what's that process been like to kind of be a
fantastic? You know why it's fantastic? Because when this whole freaking thing started, and I was living my life 3.5 weeks a month on the road in an airplane, in an airport, on a cruise ship, in an Uber, in a comedy club, in a green room, in a hotel. It's stagnant, and I wasn't allowing me to. I wasn't writing. Like there was nothing to write about.
Mm-hmm.
What were you going to write about? Being on a plane, my airplane food. So now that I have all this around me, it's so much more refreshing. I wake up every day looking forward to, like, it's a whole new life. It's a whole different arena of things to write about, to experience.
All right. So then let me ask you to answer that question this way. So the question that we ask is a dad brag. So would you be at a place where you would feel comfortable having a moment where you would feel unashamed or unreserved about something positive that you've taken about your relationship with these kids?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I don't want. Yes. I'm because of what I want. I have 2 stepdads. I've had 2 stepdaddies and 3 stepmamas. So I'm trying to. Gosh, I don't even remember answering the question, but I'm trying to take away from my experiences and be the best that I can for Hunter, because I know what it's like to have a crappy one and to have a good one, because I've had one of each. So I think, and not to brag, I think I'm pretty good at riding that line. I'm a pretty cool dude, but at the same time, like I got to get respect.
So when you think about Hunter and you want to, what's a brag that you have about him? Like what if you were to brag on him? Yeah.
He's probably the best athlete I've ever seen at 12 years old.
Where does he play?
Baseball. He stole home to win the other day. They won over the last, not the other day, but the last game we saw.
What's his strength? Is it wheels? Is it pitching? Is it hitting?
His swing. He pitches too, and he takes pitching lessons. But I think his daddy wants, and his real dad's still around, and his real dad wants him to pitch. But he does things that I played basketball coming up, and no one ever said at the end of the game, give Speenberg the ball. There was always someone else that got the ball.
Yeah.
So when I watch Hunter, and I'm like, man, he's pitching, like, and they had the COVID going on, so the umpires, they didn't have all the umpires all the time, so an umpire would literally stand 1.5 feet behind him on the pitcher's mound and would call strikes the balls from that spot. So you've got to umpire. You're 12 years old. You got to umpire over your shoulder, calling your pitches and spots. I couldn't have handled that.
That's great.
I would have freaked out.
Yeah,
I would have freaked out. It took me to be 30 years old, and for Jamie to be like, okay, I'm going to let you fuck up this Friday night, do something stupid on stage, and have you come back. Like, because when he fucks up or messes up on the field, it rolls right off him.
Oh, that's good.
I wish I had that too. You know what I mean? Like, he's 12 years old. That's what I tell him all the time. I said, man, it's hard to do now, but you don't understand when you're 18, this pressure, it's not going to be any pressure.
Yeah. Right.
Awesome. That's a good one.
I think all the time being a stand-up, like now that I'm 48 and I know what it's like to do what we do. I mean, we could always go back and be like, oh,
yeah, 2020. It's never foresight that's 2020. It's always hindsight, right?
No, dude. It's like one of those things like, oh, man, and you see these other cameras getting these shots now, you want to grab them and say, look, dude, do this.
All right.
You need to make the same mistake that we all make,
So here's the last little part that we want to talk about. And I have this theory, you probably embrace it, is every comic has a joke or a premise or something that they love, but that they can't ever quite get to work right with the audience. It's like a broken bit. So we do a broken bit segment with our comic guests.
Yeah.
So what's a joke that you have?
The Christmas one. The Christmas one I've been working on.
All right.
It doesn't go anywhere. I don't know where the Christmas tree came from. Like, I don't understand, like, the Christmas tree, and I want to know, like, if a cave guy or caveman, like, just walked out of the cave, went to the woods, and grabbed a tree and drug it back in the cave and put it in the corner, and like, to the other caveman, and then jacked off on it. That's how we got tinsel.
That's how we got tinsel.
Okay, so that took a surprise turn.
Yeah. That's the origin of tinsel.
That was a surprise.
I told you it was a Christmas joke, dude. That's all I got. See, it takes me crazy.
So you're saying that over time there's less decoration on the tree?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tinsel tree's a young man's tree.
I don't even know if they make tinsel anymore, do they?
I don't know. It feels like it would be more like icicles, like a handful of icicles.
Nothing says Christmas like a tree, though.
Yeah.
But why does it? Like, what?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, the idea that someone would say, how can I really embody the birth of our Lord and Savior?
Boom.
I should put a tree up.
Trees.
My stepdad is one of those guys that decorates too much over Christmas. And when I was in high school, people would kidnap his like reindeer, little baby Jesus, and put ransom letters in the mail up.
Oh no! He was Clark Griswold of the neighborhood, and they attacked his.
That's Buddy. Buddy.
Oh, that's
I
funny.
haven't seen the shoe. We haven't just bought it.
I'm finding that I'm kind of anti-inflatable. It seems like
Yeah,
all of us.
Amber won't let me do it either. We've got
Whoa! You're anti-inflatable?
It seems like
The air things, right? That we're talking about.
Yeah, the inflatables. That it seems like everybody just says, "Let's put up 10 inflatable things in the yard and we'll call it Christmas."
Well, I've noticed too that the colored and all that kind of stuff. That's a northern thing.
So
my grandparents did that in New York, but
the colored lights are coming back.
Yeah, the multicolor.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah,
the big bulby, the ones like
those big old school ones.
I'm amazed everybody's house didn't burn down, because you look at some of the old-fashioned 70s and 80s era, 60s era lights. It is like they are hot, real lights.
So you have no idea how my childhood was scarred by that burned down Christmas tree.
Did you burn down a Christmas tree?
My mom, right off the boat, Danish, right? Right. She came over from Denmark when she was 18, 19,
Danesville.
right? Yeah. And they put candles on their Christmas tree. They light the Christmas tree is lit with candles. And they will go around and you light candles, and you don't put lights on your candle, you light candles on your tree. And they have these little attachments that sit on, and you put a candle in there on the branches, real tree.
I can't imagine anything going wrong.
I just lived in fear of that thing going down all the time.
Where did you grow up?
Yeah, I grew up in Utah, but my mom would actually, and I don't think they were like, I think she was getting like non-street legal ornaments. Like, I think she had to get them from Europe because they were so hazardous, and people were like, don't put candles on trees. That's dumb.
I'm imagining the fire, and the fire department comes, and Adam's mom is like, I don't know what happened.
And I'm like, my mom must be crazy as heck. And I'm like, we went one time, we were in Denmark over Christmas. Every house is doing it. Every house is doing it still. To this day, they're putting candles up, and they have like a bucket of water near the tree.
Just in case
everything goes to crap.
Right.
But
you live like,
yeah.
Isn't there water everywhere in Denmark?
Yeah, I mean, you're basically on a peninsula, so that's good news. Yeah, you're never far from the sea.
Is it a windmill? A windmill.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so you have flame
That's
and
Holland.
wind.
That's Holland. It's okay.
Yeah. We burned the entire neighborhood down.
Yeah.
So this joke, are we going to be able to?
No, it's a
repair
great
this
one.
broken
No,
down?
no.
I think I love the Christmas tree joke. I think the tinsel Christmas tree. I think it's gonna hit. I don't know why it doesn't.
Try it for the first time tomorrow.
Oh, I love it. It's gonna hit.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that.
See, I like the tinsel move with the joke. I think
know
you should hit it with. I need another funny thing as to how the other ornaments come in.
Where are you putting this joke in your set?
I don't even know, dude. I just learned it today.
I think we got to think of something else with the other ornaments, like how I actually think the tinsel joke plays out pretty funny. And if you just that's where we get tinsel from.
Yeah,
folks.
but you have a joke that's about how the tinsel in your life changes, right?
The loads.
Yeah,
Who, me?
you do. Yeah, Mike.
How the tinsel in my life changes.
I'm saying
No,
if you're talking about the caveman.
He's trying to talk in code about
tinsel on the tree.
a young man's tinsel versus an old man's tinsel.
Oh, yeah.
You have a joke to that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I do, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying segue from that joke to the story of Christmas.
Yeah, and to say this is a lot of people don't know the origin of tinsel.
Yeah, but I think
Oh,
the
the thing I'm doing tomorrow, I'm not allowed to say Christmas or holiday. It's an end of year.
Oh, so it's a
end of year
Festivus
party?
bush.
yeah. I'm doing a
can't say
gig
it.
tomorrow. I'm actually doing a gig tomorrow also, and I've been asked not to mention specific holidays or politics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine's being, I don't know.
Are you going to do the show or?
No, I'm being taped. Videographer is coming to shoot it on stage at a club, and then it's going to be shown as part of a Zoom presentation next week.
Oh wow.
Is there going to be an audience when
No.
they film it?
No.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm talking about. It's like we've had to change our whole.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy.
So you can't talk about holidays or politics, but could you talk about caveman
Caveman
tinseling?
tinsel? No, I cannot talk about caveman tinsel.
See, that's the
more like
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's wrong with
However,
America.
I kind of think I'm going to try to introduce the euphemism tinsel into the world generally.
Yeah.
You know, my dollar menu cow always bothered me because it never hit, and I thought it was great.
The
which
dollar
one?
menu cow?
I had a dollar menu cow joke where I'd say that I like fast food. I just have one rule: I don't eat off the dollar menu, because I eat off the dollar menu, then I have to think about that cow, the dollar menu cow, and I would do like this retarded moo, and then I'd say all the other cows are like, "What the fuck is wrong with that cow over there?" And they'd be like, "No, what's over there? That's Clarence, dollar menu cow."
He's the dollar menu cow.
People never went anywhere. I thought that was
That's a great
They never
joke.
went anywhere.
Yeah.
He's the Rudolph.
I've actually
He's the
got-
Rudolph of the menu, of the value
I'll send you
menu.
a link to it. I've actually got it doing well punchline.
Yeah, you don't.
I like-
yeah.
He's the Rudolph of cows.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's not even the Rudolph. They are the.
Yeah, the other
it's-
cows wouldn't let him play in any cow games.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right,
And
so
the
Mike,
foggy
if
Christmas Eve.
people are going to find you on social media, where do they look for you?
Yeah, you can go to Speenberg.com. I quit Facebook, dude. I can't do it anymore.
Good
Right.
call.
I go in there and just post show stuff. It got me too wound up. And my Instagram. I got my Instagram. You can go to that. And I got my dry bar special still out there. Doing well.
Which is good.
Mailbox money now.
Yeah.
Dry bar. That's kind of nice. That's helped me out.
Nice.
So,
All right, check him out, Mike Speenberg. I appreciate you being part of the podcast.
Jamie, good to hear your voice, man.
It's always great to talk
Thank
to you.
you.
Yeah, man.
And it was good to talk to you. So
Nice
call me,
talking to you.
let me know how you're doing. Yeah,
All right,
good
man.
to see you guys. Or good to talk to you guys, and keep me in mind.
Right
on.
Let me know how you're doing.
Our
I'll
newest
see you later.
member of the flock.
All
Yeah,
right.
no doubt. I'll follow you guys anyway, man.
All
Awesome.
right. See you, buddy.
Go Wolfpack.
All right. Thanks, Mike. All right. That was Mike Speenberg. Check him out online. Mike's super funny. He has a whole series of stuff that he does about big wheels gangs.
Oh, cool.
And he has one of my favorite bits of his is about above ground pool parties.
I saw like 4 sheep jump when he talked about the wolf pack. Everybody, just settle.
Yeah, no,
it's good.
not, yeah,
We're
it's
okay.
actual
We're
figurative.
okay.
All right, so that's going to do it for another episode here of the BHHcast for both of the Jamies and Adam.
Yeah, fun stuff, guys. But we got more stuff for you next week.
Make sure you sign up if you are not getting the exclusive member content. Why don't you sign up and join? It's not that much,
Stop being a fool. Sign up.
right?
Yeah.
Get some
Sure.
bonus fake
Acting a fool.
commercials, extras from interviews,
Everything.
some of the complete stuff that we're not giving away for free,
You got the secret stuff.
all the other secret stuff.
Yeah, that whole Kennedy
There's
thing.
the conspiracy theory.
A lot of just me talking.
Yeah,
There's a
that's
lot
not
of those
selling
pieces.
It. That's not selling. Yeah,
You don't have to listen to the stuff you don't want to listen.
The
Just
good news
because
is it's actually categorized, so
yeah,
it's pretty
just
good
because
stuff.
just because it's behind the wall
But
doesn't mean
honestly, though, if you want to go to sleep fast, you just go ahead and put Hernan Extra Talk. Yeah, that
Sleep
stuff
podcast.
that'll put you to bed quick. Anyhow, folks, have a good one. We love you, sheep.
taka taka.
Bye.